Hello friends, my name is Dalit Soni and I welcome you all in this new episode of News on Map India segment. As usual, in this episode, we'll be talking about few locations and based on which we'll be doing some MCQs. These locations as well as MCQs will be important from your exam point of view. Okay, so UPSC's notification has been out for Civil Services Exam 2024. So you can now go and fill your application forms. If there is any query, we have made a video regarding the notification wherein important aspect of all the information or detail has been covered in that. So if you have any kind of doubt before filling up the form, you can go and watch that video on our channel. Okay, so let's start with the episode. We'll start with the practice question which was given to you in the last episode. The question was, in the context of Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary, consider the following statements. It is located in the state of Kerala. It is contiguous to protected areas of Nagarhole and Bandipur of Karnataka on the northeast and Madumalai of Tamil Nadu on the southeast. Okay, so they are talking about basically direction. Then statement 3 is the sanctuary is integral part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Okay, so we will look at all these statements one by one. So how many of the given above statements are correct? You have to go for the correct statement. Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary was in news because it is a safe haven to vultures. Okay, when we are talking about vultures, there has been a tri-state survey which was conducted in this area. Okay, these three states, that is Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, they have conducted a survey and in which we found out that Wayanad is considered as a safe haven to vultures. Okay, so coming to the statements, here you can say when we are having a look at the location of Wayanad, here this area here is basically your Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. This is the border of basically you can say Kerala and Karnataka. So most of the portion of this wildlife sanctuary is in Kerala. Okay, so you can say that Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary is in Kerala. That was the first statement, so that was true. Now second statement was related to the location of nearby areas. So when we are talking about Wayanad here, okay, so they have said that there is two protected areas, that is one in Nagarhole, second is Bandipur. They are in Karnataka. Here is the boundary. So we can say that yes, these two are in Karnataka and in the northeastern area. This is north area and this is east area. So basically northeastern area of Wayanad Sanctuary. Then they have talked about Madumalai Tiger Reserve. Here you can see this is basically your Madumalai Tiger Reserve, that is in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so you can say in the western part or southwestern part, we can say that there is Madumalai Tiger Reserve. When we are talking about this whole area, this is basically part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. When we are talking about Nilgiri is basically you can say on the confluence of Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats. So it is quite a large area under which various protected areas are considered. Okay, so under Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, we have all these protected areas, that is Nagarhole, Wayanad, Bandipur, Madumalai, Shigur. So all these important protected areas are under Nagarhole. Okay, so now moving further. Here you can say that statement 1 is correct because this is in Kerala. We have seen that it is contiguous part to the protected areas of Nagarhole and Bandipur of Karnataka on the northeastern. As we see here, we can say that it is in the north and eastern part. Okay, then next part of the statement was related to Madumalai of Tamil Nadu on southeast, which we have seen. The sanctuary is integral part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. So all these statements are true. We can say that option C would be your right answer, all of the above. Okay, now let's start with the question number 1 of this particular episode. Consider the following statements. Statement 1 is the city of Dholavira. You must know that if you are a student of history or you have studied history for your preparation, you must know that Dholavira is important site for Indus Valley civilization. Okay, other than that, when we are talking about we can say that Harappan civilization as well. Okay, so the ancient city of Dholavira, the southern center of Harappan civilization, is located on island of Khadir in the state of Gujarat, which we will see. Second statement is the run of Kutch is famous for white salty desert sand and is reputed to be largest salt desert in the world. Okay, coming to the third statement, Kutch Desert Sanctuary in Gujarat is the only area where flamingos breed regularly. Okay, so you have to choose not correct statements or incorrect statements. Okay, now coming to the maps. Here you can see this is your broader map of Gujarat, and in Gujarat we have this Khadir Island. Okay, this water body here is basically run of Kutch Lake. Okay, here you can see this is run of Kutch Lake basically, and in this lake we have this island, that is Khadir Island. And in the Khadir Island, in the westward area, we have Dholavira, which is a, you can say, Indus Valley civilization site or Harappan site. Other than that, we can say that it is basically a World Heritage Site. Okay, so it was in news because there was a connectivity project. That name of the connectivity was the Khavda Khadir roadways link. That link is basically to reduce the distance to reach Dholavira. Now we have started tourist in this area, so that is why that project was in news, and that is why this Dholavira has been in news. Otherwise also it is important location from your historical point of view as well. Okay, so travel time has been reduced because of this particular project. And now coming to the next part, that is related to your Kutch Desert Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, other than that, when we are talking about run of Kutch area, it is a salt desert. You know that it has this wild salty soil present over there. Okay, so that is there. Other than that, here you can see Kutch Wildlife Sanctuary. It is in the Little Run. Okay, so run of Kutch is divided into two parts, that is, one is Great Run and then Little Run. In the Little Run we have this Kutch Desert Wildlife Sanctuary, and in this wildlife sanctuary one prominent bird is there, which is breeding here regularly, that is flamingo. Here this bird here you can see, that is flamingo. Okay, now moving further, this is run of Kutch, and you can see there is a kind of soil or desert where you can say there is a color of white soil which is visible from here. Okay, now coming to the question again, ancient city of Dholavira, the southern center of Harappan civilization, is sited on the island of Khadir, which is true in Gujarat. So this statement is true. Now run of Kutch is famous for its white salty desert, which we have seen. Okay, so the sand here is white in nature, white in color, and is reputed to be largest salt desert in the world. So this is also true. Okay, now Kutch Desert Sanctuary in Gujarat is the only area where flamingos breed regularly. This is also a factual statement which we have seen, and we have seen the picture of flamingos as well. Okay, so all these statements are true. So we are to choose incorrect statement or not correct statement. So we can say that none of the above are answer. Okay, now moving to the second question. Question says, regarding the Bandipur National Park, consider the following statements. Okay, statement 1 is, it is located in Karnataka, and it will complete 50 years as a project tiger reserve on April 1st of 2024. Okay, second statement is, the Kabini reservoir separates the Bandipur and Nagarhole tiger reserve. It is located at the tri-junction of states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. It is shelter for largest population of wild Asian elephants in South Asia. So you have to choose the correct statements. How many of the statements are correct? Okay, so let's see. So this Bandipur has been in news because there was this particular corridor, that is Golden IT corridor. When we talk about IT sector, it is a prominent sector. Bangalore is very prominent sector in IT, and from Kerala there are various engineers etc. So to connect Kerala with Bangalore, there is this Golden IT corridor which has been established, and this IT corridor is passing through this Bandipur, and because of which various environmental concern has been raised by the environmentalist, and that is why it was in news. So here you can see, so this is your Nagarhole and this is Bandipur. When we are talking about Bandipur, it is in Karnataka. Okay, and then Nagarhole also is in Karnataka. There was a statement related to the Kabini river. So this particular river here is Kabini, and we have a Kabini reservoir as well. So this river is kind of dividing these two protected areas. Okay, that is Nagarhole and you can say Bandipur tiger reserve. Okay, and we have talked about Wayanad in the previous question. So that is there, that is in Kerala. Other thing was that they have talked about this Bandipur protected area to be on the tri-junction of these three states. Here you can see this is the boundary. Okay, between this is, hold on, this is the boundary between Karnataka and Kerala. Okay, here you can see this is boundary between Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and this is boundary between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So basically we can say that Bandipur is having a border shared with Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So basically we can say that it is on tri-junction. Okay. Now coming back to this species of Asian elephant. Here you can see Indian elephants are there. So these elephants are found in there as well. There are various, there are basically three specific species of this Asian elephants, wherein one is Indian, second is Sumatran, third is Sri Lankan elephant. So when we are talking about Bandipur, we have Indian elephants over there. Okay. Now here you can see it is located in Karnataka and will complete 50 years as a Project Tiger Reserve on April 1st of 2024. So when we are talking about this particular protected area, it was declared as a tiger reserve in 1973. Okay. So that one thing we can say that it is basically it has completed its 50 years in 2023. Okay. So that statement is incorrect. Now Kabini Reservoir separates the Bandipur and Nagarhole Tiger Reserve, which we have seen, that is correct. It is located at the tri-junction of states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. This is also correct. It is shelter for largest population of wild Asian elephants in South Asia. This is also correct. So you can say that statement 2, 3 and 4 are correct. So 3 statements are correct. Option C would be your right answer. Now moving further, question number 3. Consider the following statement about Great Indian Bustard. Statement 1 is, it is critically endangered bird numbering fewer than 140 globally. Over 120 Great Indian bustards live in Thar, Rajasthan, mainly in Desert National Park and Pokhran Range. Okay. Now third statement, scientists at Conservation Breeding Center at Pokhran in Rajasthan achieved a major milestone where captive reared birds bred first time here naturally in 2023. Okay. So basically this was in news because of this particular fact. Okay. So that is why we have taken this question. So technically speaking, since it was in news, so we can say that this is correct. So here they have basically bred first time naturally in 2023. So in this Pokhran range, we have this Conservation Breeding Center. Okay. Pokhran is in Rajasthan, Jaisalmer district of Rajasthan, where we have this conservation breeding center, and wherein we have for the first time were able to breed naturally in the captive breeding center. Okay, so that is why we can say that this statement is correct, and name of this particular bird which has been bred naturally is Uno. Okay, so that would be important for you. Okay, now coming to the other statement, it is critically endangered bird numbering fewer than 140 globally. So this is a factual statement, so we can say that yes, this is also correct. But after that, if we go to the second statement, if we see over 120 Great Indian bustards live in Thar, Rajasthan, mainly in Desert National Park in Pokhran Range. Now when we are talking about India, we say that yes, Great Indian bustards are basically found in this particular region of Rajasthan and Gujarat. Okay, so this statement is true, but when we are talking about the number here, okay, so one might get confused that world over they are talking about there are only 140 species, number, but here they are saying that in Rajasthan only they are found like in a number of 120. So there might be a confusion that it is wrong, but the thing is this is a factual statement and this is correct. World over, if we see the population, maximum population is found in Rajasthan, or you can say most of the population is found in Rajasthan in the Desert National Park as well as the Pokhran Range. Okay, so these both statements are correct, and statement third is also correct. Okay, so answer would be C. Okay, but there are certain facts which are related to it. We will be discussing in the map. So here you can see when we were talking about this Great Indian bustard. Is it on the verge of extinction? So basically there was this you can say a survey which has happened in Andhra Pradesh. There is this wildlife sanctuary, Rola Padu Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so other than Rajasthan, there are some 3 to 4 birds GIB which are to be found in this particular area earlier, but recently when that survey happened, there was no sight of them. Okay, so that there was this question that is these species is on the verge of extinction. But the thing is, when we are talking about Rajasthan, there is good number of these species over there, and then Pokhran, when we are talking about the captive breeding, that is also happening, and that is also a successful endeavor. So that is why it was in news, and we have taken this question. When we are talking about Rola Padu Wildlife Sanctuary, here you can see that it is in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so that was one factual thing which I would like, which I wanted to discuss. So I have taken this question. Other than that, When we are talking about this desert national park, it is in Jaisalmer. And other than that, we can also talk about Pokhran when we are talking about Great Indian Bustard. Okay, so that is in Rajasthan. Other than that, there are some national parks, that is Sariska, Kevladev, Ranthambore, Mukundra Hills. These are in Rajasthan. Here you can see IUCN status of this particular species is critically endangered. Okay, and they are also protected under Wildlife Act of 1972. Okay, this is the picture of Great Indian Bustard. So now moving ahead, as I told you, answer would be C, all of the above. Now question number 4. Consider the following countries: Myanmar, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh. With which of the given countries India has free movement regime? So this free movement regime has been in news, okay, because our Home Minister has said that we will be terminating our free movement with Myanmar. Okay, so that is a fact that we had a free movement regime with Myanmar. Other than that, other countries we will be having a look at. But recently, as of now, we have this FMR which is suspended, not terminated yet. But the thing is that is to be terminated in you can say in some time we will be seeing that will be terminated because of the immigration issues from the Myanmar. We know that Myanmar is going through a civil war, and wherein these ethnic communities are fighting against the government, Janta military government over there, and because of which they are being persecuted from there, and these migrants are coming to India or Bangladesh since we have a border with them, and since we had this free movement regime since 2018, and that is why we are trying to go for a termination of this regime, because it is actually giving a way to these migrants to come to India and settle here. Okay, so to avoid this migrant issue, we are going for termination of this free movement regime. Okay, this was started in 2018. It was supposed to start in 2017, but then we have gone through a Rohingya crisis. You know that in Myanmar there was Rohingya crisis, and because of which the government of India has delayed this particular program. And then in 2018 there was this free movement regime. In this free movement regime, what is there is the citizens of Myanmar as well as India which are living across the boundary. Let's say this is Myanmar and this is India. So citizens living here, either be of India or of Myanmar, they can actually travel across this boundary for 16 kilometers. Okay, and they can stay there for up to 2 weeks without any visa. There is only one certificate, or you can say one pass, which is required by government, that is renewable annually. Okay, and that pass you should have, and you can move across this particular boundary. Okay, and that is because actually these communities living here on the border are having cultural affinities, and that is why they are having these relations with each other. That is why this free movement regime was started when there was a democratic government in Myanmar. Okay, but now there is the military government, and there are issues going on there. You can say there is a civil war going on there, and because of which there is a migration, and that is why we have taken this question. Now let's talk about the other nations, that is Myanmar, Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh. Here you can see these are the neighbors with which we have borders, and that is why only those countries with which we have border, we can talk about such regime. We have Pakistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan and Myanmar and Bangladesh. Okay, so when we are talking about Bangladesh, our borders are kind of fenced. Okay, so there is no free movement regime over there. With Pakistan, obviously we consider it Pakistan has this terrorist activities, etc. Then that is why we are not going to go for such movement regime. That is a logical, you can say. Then with China also we are having border disputes, so that is also eliminated. Now let's talk about Nepal and Bhutan. So when we are talking about Nepal and Bhutan, we are having friendly relations, and we have this visa free travel facility with them. Okay, but we will not call it as a free movement regime, because it is specific term used for in with reference to Myanmar. Okay, now come to the question again. Before that, you can go through this particular slide wherein we have discussed the kind of relations or border relations we have with other countries. Okay, now coming to the question again, which of the given countries India has a free movement regime? Right now we have a free movement regime with Myanmar, which is suspended, not terminated yet, but it will be terminated in the future. So right now we can say that we have it with Myanmar, but in future it might get terminated. So option A would be your right answer right now. Okay, now considering which we will move to the next question, that is question number 5. Consider the following lines. Situated downstream from Wooler Lake and connected to it, this wetland is crucial biodiversity conservation area lying on the Central Asian Flyway. So there are three important things, that is, this is in the vicinity of Wooler Lake, okay, so this is also a wetland, and then it is on the Central Asian Flyway, okay. It hosts over 40,000 migratory and resident bird species is each year, okay. Now statement 3 is positioned with the Jhelum river basin. The wetland is instrumental in flood mitigation, recharging aquifers, and managing the water layers of the Wooler Lake. So now this statement is in general correct, okay. Now when we are talking about this particular wetland, okay, we have taken this question because recently on the 75th anniversary of our independence, we can say that now sites, we have 75 Ramsar sites, okay. So out of which there are some 11 sites which has been recently added. In that there were 2 sites from Jammu and Kashmir as well, and one of that site was this. So we are taking this question. So now coming to the map, here you can see when we are talking about this site, that is Haigam wetland, okay, and it is in the vicinity of Wooler Lake, which we can see. Now here you can see in the next slide, this is your Wooler Lake and this is Haigam wetland. So we are talking about this particular wetland, and other than that we have mentioned this Central Asian Flyway. So here you can see this area is basically on the flyway. Why we are talking about this flyway? Because in the winters there are high chances that birds from Siberia, because of the extreme and harsh environment, they will come towards other countries, or you can say warmer countries, for their breeding seasons, okay. So since this species are going through this particular area, and in Wooler Lake here they are also going for some stopovers, so that is why this was kind of special in that regard. That is why we have taken this statement. Now coming to the statements again, since I told you it is a in the vicinity of, it is a wetland in the vicinity of Wooler Lake, and then it is a crucial biodiversity conservation area lying on the Central Asian Flyway, okay. So that is one thing, and then it hosts over 40,000 migratory birds each year, and it is positioned with the Jhelum river basin, okay. Now above mentioned lines refer to which of the following wetland, okay. There are some names given, but option D would be your right answer, that is Haigam wetland. Other than that, when we see there are these important wetlands, you should go and make a note of it, that is Khushalsar wetland, the Renuka wetland, Surisar Mansar wetland. These are also important. UPSC has asked question about them, okay. Now moving further, question number 6 regarding black tiger. Consider the following statements. Statement 1 is Odisha government decided to set up a black tiger safari, the first of its kind in the world, near Simlipal Tiger Reserve. Statement 2 is black tigers are not separate subspecies, they are Bengal tigers with gene mutations. Statement 3 is they have been recorded in wild only in Simlipal Tiger Reserve in India. Simlipal Tiger Reserve has the highest number of black tiger sighting in the world, okay. How many of the above given statements are correct? You have to choose the correct statements, okay. Now let's see, here you can see we have taken this question because in Down to Earth there was this article which says that for these black tigers there is, the government is trying to go for a safari, okay. So that is kind of, you can say it is to promote the ecotourism. So Odisha government has gone for such proposal, okay. They have announced that they will be going for the black tiger safari. Here you can see this is black tiger. This is not a separate species, this is just a gene mutation of Bengal tigers, okay. So that is why it was in news and it was cited in this particular area. When we are talking about Simlipal, Simlipal has the world's highest population of these black tigers, okay. And when we are talking about India, so this is found in only in the Simlipal region, okay. Now moving further, here you can see in Odisha we have this Simlipal Tiger Reserve, okay. Other than that there are certain protected areas which are important from Odisha, that is Satkosia, okay. Then we have this Gahir Mata. So all these areas are kind of important from your environment point of view, and specifically if we are talking about for black tigers, Simlipal is famous, okay. Now coming to the question, Odisha government has decided to set up a black tiger safari, first of its kind in the world, near Simlipal Tiger Reserve. As I told you, we have taken this news, so this was in news, that is why this statement is correct. Now black tigers are not separate subspecies, we have discussed that as well. So this is just a gene mutation in the Bengal tiger, so that statement is also true. They have been recorded in the wild only in Simlipal Tiger Reserve in India, so that is also true. And Simlipal Tiger Reserve has the highest number of black tigers sighting in the world, that statement is also true. So we can say that all of the above statements are true, so option D would be your right answer. Okay, now going to question number 7. Consider the following statement: Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha and Gujarat. Recently, Dhokra Damar tribe is in news. It is found in which of the above mentioned state? Okay, so first we will talk about this particular tribe, then we will also try to find a hint from the questions as well. Okay, so coming to the discussion part, here you can see this is the area wherein this particular tribe is found. Okay, so here you can say there is Jharkhand, there is Chhattisgarh, Odisha and some part of Telangana as well. Otherwise also, if we see that there is another option, that is Gujarat. Okay, so here you can say that tribal communities are closely knit communities. They live in a particular area. When we are talking about this particular tribal community, that is found in the central Indian region. Okay, and when we are talking about Gujarat, that is in the far west. So there are high chances that they will not have any kind of affinity with each other. So that is why Gujarat may be eliminated. Okay, so here you can say that directly that Gujarat can be eliminated. Now coming to this particular tribe, why this was in news, because when we are talking about this tribe, they are famous for their metal craft. Okay, so when we are talking about this metal craft, this is known as Dhokra. Okay, so Dhokra is a metal craft which has been done by this Dhokra Damar tribe, and it was in news because there are efforts which has been done for the revival of this particular metal craft. Here you can say this, you can see this is the example of this craft wherein they use this lost wax technique. We have talked about this lost wax technique in our history as well. When we are talking about Indus Valley civilization, they have also used similar practices over there. Okay, so that is one thing. Coming to this particular tribe, the name Dhokra comes from the Dhokra Damar tribe, who are traditional metalsmith in the West Bengal. So they are traditional metalsmith in the West Bengal, but we are talking about the expense of the tribe that is in the Central Indian region, and which we have seen that it is found in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Telangana, etc. Okay, Dhokra is a form of ancient bell metal craft practiced by the Oja metalsmith. Living in states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, West Bengal and Telangana, the Dhokra artifacts are made in brass and they are unique in that the pieces do not have any joints. Here you can see the picture, they are formed in one go and there are no joints in that. Okay, so that is why this particular practice becomes important, that is Dhokra. So that can be asked in prelims directly, because there are some efforts about this particular revival of this technique. So that is why it has been in news. Okay, now moving further, question number, so here Gujarat is eliminated, so 1, 2, 3 and 4 would be your right answer, that is option C. Okay, now moving towards the last question of the episode, consider the following pairs. There are tiger reserves and some locations are given. The Boar Tiger Reserve, BTR, that is in Telangana. Kaval Tiger Reserve, Maharashtra. Rolapedu Wildlife Sanctuary, Andhra Pradesh. We have talked about this Rolapedu and why this was in news. Okay, so that is correct, it is in Andhra Pradesh. And when we are talking about these two tiger reserves, let's see. Boar Tiger Reserve is in Maharashtra. Okay, this is in news because this Boar Tiger Reserve was used to be the smallest tiger reserve, and after that there were some forest ranges which were actually added into it so that they can start a wildlife safari over there. Okay, so to promote ecotourism, so that was in news, that is why we have taken this question. And when we are talking about Kaval, this is in Telangana. Okay, so they are asking about correctly matched pair, we can say that only one is your answer, that is A. Okay, now coming to the locations, here you can see Kaval is in Telangana. Okay, then when we are talking about Rolapedu, which we have already seen, this is in Andhra Pradesh. And then when we are talking about Boar, this is in Maharashtra. Okay, so somewhere here in Maharashtra, this is Boar. Other than that, we have Pench in Maharashtra, we have Tadoba Andhari in Maharashtra, Navegaon, Nagzira and Shahadri. Okay, so with that, since I told you the answer of this particular question, only one, that is Andhra Pradesh, this is in Maharashtra and Kaval is in Telangana. Okay, so let's move to the practice question for your next episode. Which of the following statement is not correct about the Kalasa Banduri project. Okay, there are some statements given. You can see it proposes to divert Mahadai river water into Malprabha river in the state of Karnataka. The Mahadai river flows through Karnataka and Goa before joining Arabian Sea. The diversion of Mahadai river has been a point of contention between Karnataka and Goa. Mahadai or Mahadai originates in Bhimgad Wildlife Sanctuary, Eastern Ghats. Okay, so you have to choose the correct option and you can answer it in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. If you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel. Thank you. Have a good day.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.